Hey there, this is Christopher Jones. I'm a student in SE 504, Seminar in Special Education Issues. This is stage two of my signature project. In this video, I wanted to talk about kind of what I did in stage one, my topic, how I collaborated with other teachers from my school to help complete this project, some of the research that I did. So my topic from stage one was about physical activity. Um, I'm a PE teacher, and I believe that with higher amounts of physical activity each day for the students, that they would perform better in the classroom, and we'd have a increase in test scores. The investigation and research into this problem was pretty simple. No matter where you look, online, journals, social media, books, it's pretty easy to figure out that students these days are less active than ever before. According to one of my sources that I used for this project, he says that students that run for 15 minutes per day during school made them seem more awake. It increased their attention and verbal memory and improve their feelings of well-being. Uh, that's all really great, and but unfortunately, according to him, also he states that 13 million students in the U.S. are considered obese right now, and about 1/3 of the students in this country get less physical activity than the recommended daily amount. I collaborated with two third-grade teachers at my school to complete this assignment. I believe the first teacher had about 24 students, and the second teacher had about 26. So we observed about 50 students in all. Um, this was a 2-week observation kind of thing we did here. So what we did, week one, we didn't change anything. Students had their normal routine, normal daily schedule, regular PE, regular recess, and then on Friday, I gave the teachers a survey to fill out, and they completed the survey. The survey consisted of questions about the students' attention span, memorization skills, their behavior that week, their mood for the week. So I just kind of wanted to see a regular week of each one of those classrooms, kind of how the teacher feels like they perform on a basic week that they've done, for a few months now. So then week two, we came back and we changed everything. Week two, I wanted them to participate, each student, each day, in about 60 minutes of moderate physical activity. Um, so I had them for 30 minutes per day in PE. There was no downtime. We moved around, we danced, we ran, we just stayed active for a full 30 minutes. And then during recess, when the teachers had them, they made sure there wasn't the normal walking around talking or sitting around talking, whatever else goes on, normally at recess. They kept them moving. They had activities ready to go for recess. They were playing kickball. They were playing tag, uh, just to ensure for a full 30 minutes they were active. So they did that all 5 days. They had 60 minutes per day of activity. And on Friday afternoon, I brought back that same survey for the teachers, and they completed that survey also for week two. And my hopes was that the week two survey, um, the questions about attention span and memorization and the behavior that week and the mood of the students for that week, I'm hoping that week two results were a lot better than week one, since they were more active that week. When we did this plan, I don't consider that we had any ethical issues at all, any privacy issues at all. Um, every teacher that took part in this, they're labeled Teacher A, Teacher B. The students, each classroom, I put them in ABC order, and the one at the top is student one, the next one, student two, and so on. So there are no names attached to this, whether it be teacher or student. I'm not sharing results or anything with school boards or principals, colleagues. So every teacher and every student that took part in this survey, there is no chance of any personal information getting out there. I've taught PE for about 12 years, so I had a pretty good idea that students today were less active than ever before. So after doing a little bit of research and developing that plan, collaborating with the third grade teachers, it was time to go ahead and view the results of those surveys. So each teacher took the survey on each child, week 1 and week 2. The highest score you can get per survey is 24 points. The average score for teacher A in week 1 was 13 points. So at 13 out of 24, about average, not great, not too bad. But so then after week 2 scores, once we changed the plan, added 60 minutes per day of exercise, uh, their average was 18 out of 24. So it went up 5 points. That was a good improvement from week 1 to week 2. Teacher B, after week 1, her average score was 16 points out of 24. Week 2, her average was 19 points out of 24. So not the same increase as teacher A, but 3 points is still pretty high. And I'd say for both classrooms, after both weeks, we definitely saw an improvement when exercise was integrated into their day. And in order to prove these surveys are correct and that actual improvement is being seen from physical activity, I guess you'd have to, pinpoint where the physical activity started, the increase. Before that, what were the test scores? What are they now? I know schools are testing once a month, different kinds of tests. You'd probably need to see report card grades go up, and I guess just general feedback from teachers uh, that just by word of mouth saying, yes, my students are more active, they're in better shape, and they are better, happier, and more improved learners. If I was going to go back and change anything about my original plan, I'd probably do two things. First, I probably wouldn't just focus on one grade level like third grade. I might do first grade and fifth grade uh, just to prove if I get positive results, it would prove that it works uh, with younger kids and older kids. The second thing I'd probably do is I would make it last longer than 2 weeks. Um, Probably 8 to 10 weeks would be ideal. That way I can week 1, just no change, just normal routines, get the survey responses and go from there. Then week 2, start adding the exercise, increasing the exercise and stuff, and then go from week to week and see if it improves over time from week 2 to week 3 to week 4, and so on. And even by week 5 or 6, I could increase the amount of exercise also to see if that improves the scores even more. So I think I'd probably do going back, I'd make this observation last about 8 to 10 weeks. As far as additional research that can be conducted, I think with anything like this, the bigger sample size you have, the better chance you have to prove and to convince people that this does work. And I do believe that extra physical activity would improve classroom performance. So I would recommend testing all age kids from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. I would do that. I would probably, like I said earlier, I would test kids longer than 2 weeks. I would go from week 1 to week 4, add some more activity, go from 4 to 8 weeks, add even more activity, and just see if you see steady improvement as time goes on in those surveys, as well as tests. Kids are testing all the time. Classroom morale of teachers. Do they feel like that students are showing improvement for having more physical activity? Our report cards getting better. So stuff like that. I think that just having bigger sample sizes would definitely help out. This is the end of stage 2 of my signature project. I had a good time doing the research and stuff for this project. I'm really passionate, being in PE about physical activity and staying healthy. And I truly believe that if we can have our kids be more active each day, that we'd have tremendous improvement in the classroom, from behavior to mood to the memorization skills, just everything. I think test scores would improve. So I'm hoping to pass this along, and it should be the goal of every educator to do whatever they can, any way they can, to improve and make kids more successful in the classroom. Thank you.